There comes a moment in life when silence ends and intention begins, a moment when you stop explaining yourself to the world and start preparing yourself for it. This is not about noise, hype, or proving anything to anyone. This is about inner resolve, about the quiet decision you make when no one is watching. I am coming for you is not a threat, it's a promise to fear that its time is up, a promise to doubt that it no longer has authority, a promise to the version of yourself that once felt small, tired, or forgotten. I am coming with discipline, not excuses, with patience, not anger, with focus, not distractions. I am coming step by step, day by day, stronger than yesterday, calmer than before, and clearer than ever. This is not a race against people. This is a return to purpose. And when I arrive, it won't be loud, but it will be undeniable. There is a realm where words stop being motivational and begin to become prophetic, a realm where statements are not made to impress people but to align spirits. Because when a man says, I am coming for you, it is not arrogance, it is awareness. It is the realization that something has been stirring on the inside, something planted by God, something that refused to die even when seasons tried to bury it. There are people who think delay means denial, but delay is often proof that wait is involved, because anything that will shift territories must first be processed in secrecy. Many times you did not disappear, you were being prepared, you were not forgotten, you were being formed. Heaven does not announce champions prematurely, it trains them quietly. There's a summons that happens in the spirit long before movement happens in the physical, and when alignment comes, language changes, posture changes, prayer changes, appetite changes, because you can no longer afford to live casually when purpose is calling your name. This is not about chasing people, platforms, or applause. This is about responding to an assignment that has been waiting for your obedience. When a man comes into alignment, he stops begging doors and starts becoming a key. Resistance does not mean you are wrong. Resistance often confirms you are approaching something guarded, because gates do not protect empty fields. Gates protect value. There are battles you did not choose but were assigned to because of what you carry. And the enemy studies potential more than history. He attacks futures more than past. That is why pressure intensified when clarity increased. But clarity is dangerous to darkness, a focused. Man is more powerful than a gifted but distracted one. Discipline is the language of seriousness in the realm of the spirit. God does not anoint intentions, he anoints alignment, and alignment demands consistency. There is a cost to saying, I am coming for you. It means excuses must die, comfort must be questioned, old patterns must be confronted, because destiny does not negotiate with familiarity. The moment you agree with God, you become a threat to systems built on compromise. You are not coming with noise, you are coming with stature, you are not coming with anger, you are coming with authority. Authority is not volume, authority is weight. It is the confidence that comes from knowing you were sent, not sponsored by men. Seasons of silence were not punishment, they were insulation, so that when you finally speak, your voice carries substance. There are mantles that only rest on men who have learned to wait without leaking, to serve without entitlement, to grow without applause. And now the declaration is not emotional, it is governmental. It is the sound of someone who has seen too much to turn back, prayed too much to give up, endured too much to retreat. This coming is not physical movement alone, it is spiritual arrival. It is light approaching darkness, order confronting chaos, truth standing before deception. When alignment meets obedience, heaven backs the journey, angels respond to clarity, grace follows responsibility, and what once resisted you will have to realign. Because when God sends a man, he goes ahead of him. He does not just open doors, he changes the rooms. He does not just defeat enemies, he redefines territories. And the confidence here is not self-confidence, it is God consciousness, the awareness that if he sent you, he sustains you. If he called you, he equips you. If he anointed you, he defends you. So the statement stands firm, steady, and unshaken, not as hype, not as pride, but as alignment, speaking in faith, patience, discipline, and spiritual intelligence. Because destiny does not rush. It arrives prepared. When a man begins to move toward destiny, opposition becomes intelligent, because resistance is not random. It is strategic. It rises in proportion to the value of what you are becoming. Many people mistake inner battles as weakness, not knowing that the greatest wars happen within before they ever manifest around you. Because if the enemy cannot stop your movement externally, he will attempt to fragment your conviction internally. Doubt is not always loud. Sometimes it is subtle. It questions timing, worth, readiness, and identity. And if not confronted, it slowly erodes momentum. This is why confrontation is not optional. It is required. You do not negotiate with fear. You outgrow it. You do not reason with laziness. You discipline it. You do not entertain distraction. You eliminate it. Every inner resistance you tolerate today becomes an outer limitation tomorrow. Spiritual growth demands honesty because you cannot conquer what you keep excusing. Many delays are not caused by Satan. They are sponsored by inconsistency, by emotional living, by refusal to submit appetites to purpose. There are seasons where God will allow pressure not to destroy you, but to expose what still has authority over you, because whatever controls you cannot be conquered by you. This is why the journey inward is painful. It requires tearing down strongholds of comfort, pride, comparison, and self-pity. The man who is serious about destiny is ruthless with distractions, not because he hates people, but because he respects assignment. Inner opposition often disguises itself as logic, as fear dressed in wisdom, as delay dressed in patience. But discernment helps you know when rest has become retreat, when caution has become cowardice, when comfort has become captivity. There is a strength that comes when you finally decide that excuses will no longer have a voice, that your feelings will no longer be your commander, because emotions are good servants but terrible leaders. Destiny does not respond to moods, it responds to mastery, mastery over time, over thoughts, over reactions, over patterns. And when a man confronts himself and wins, external battles lose their intimidation, because the greatest victory is not over witches, systems, or oppositions. It is over the undisciplined self. Many prayers fail not because God is silent, but because the man praying is divided. Alignment gives prayer authority, clarity gives prayer speed, and consistency gives prayer results. When inner resistance is conquered, confidence becomes quiet, strength becomes stable, movement becomes intentional, and this is when the declaration changes from desire to certainty, because you are no longer hoping to arrive, you are prepared to confront whatever stands in the way, knowing that what is ahead cannot be greater than the transformation that has already happened within you. There is a pathway that destiny recognizes, and it is not enthusiasm, it is discipline, because light does not respond to excitement, it responds to obedience. Many people want results without structure, manifestations without mastery, but the spiritual realm is governed by laws, and one of the strongest proofs of seriousness is consistency. Discipline is the ability to submit your present to protect your future, to say no to what feels good so you can say yes to what is God. Obedience is not weakness, it is intelligence. It is the understanding that alignment attracts grace, because grace is not a substitute for responsibility. It is a partner to it. When a man walks in light, secrecy loses power, confusion dissolves, and direction becomes clear. Light is not information. Light is truth applied, truth lived, truth obeyed even when it is inconvenient. This is why some prayers seem unanswered, because prayer without obedience is noise in the realm of the spirit. God does not empower rebellion, he empowers submission, and submission sharpens spiritual sensitivity. It trains the heart to recognize divine instructions, even when they come quietly. Discipline is what keeps you moving when emotions fluctuate, when applause disappears, when results delay. Obedience is what keeps you aligned when temptation presents shortcuts, because shortcuts always lead to long delays. Destiny does not reward speed, it rewards accuracy. Walking in light means you stop hiding patterns that sabotage progress. You stop justifying habits that weaken authority, because what drains strength also diminishes impact. The man who walks in obedience does not need to force doors. Alignment causes doors to recognize him. There is a peace that comes with discipline, not the peace of comfort, but the peace of clarity, the assurance that Even if progress feels slow, direction is correct, and when direction is correct, speed is only a matter of time. This journey requires daily choices, unseen decisions, private victories, because public authority is built in private obedience. When discipline becomes a lifestyle, not a season, stability is produced, and stability is what heaven trusts with influence. Light does not announce itself, it reveals itself through fruit, through consistency, through quiet strength. And the man who walks in light does not compete with others, he concentrates on obedience, knowing that alignment with God is the fastest route to lasting impact. There comes a time when preparation gives way to expression, when what has been built in secrecy begins to find form in reality, because destiny is not an idea, it is a manifestation governed by authority, and authority is the product of alignment sustained over time. Manifestation is not sudden, it is revealed, it is the visible consequence. Invisible obedience. Many people desire outcomes without capacity, results without responsibility, but the spiritual realm responds to stature, not desire. Authority is not claimed, it is recognized. It is acknowledged by systems, by resistance, by circumstances, because it carries weight. When a man walks in spiritual authority, he does not force outcomes. Outcomes cooperate with him, because authority is the permission heaven gives a man to represent its intent on earth. Destiny is not fulfilled by ambition, it is fulfilled by assignment. An assignment demands accuracy, obedience, and endurance. Manifestation is not about arrival alone, it is about governance, sustaining what appears, managing what comes, and stewarding what is released. Many people fail after breakthrough, not before it, because increase exposes character, influence magnifies discipline or reveals the lack of it. Authority without maturity becomes a burden, not a blessing. This is why heaven measures men before it releases platforms, because visibility without stability leads to collapse. Manifestation is not for celebration first, it is for responsibility, because whatever God manifests through you, he expects you to protect, to represent, and to advance. Spiritual authority is exercised through wisdom, restraint, and consistency, not aggression, not noise, not pride. When destiny begins to speak, it speaks through fruit, through impact, through transformation, not through announcements, not through comparisons. The manifestation of destiny is not the end of a journey. It is the beginning of accountability, because now what was hidden is visible, what was private is tested publicly, and what was believed is demanded in action. Authority attracts opposition, but opposition cannot stop what heaven sustains, because when God backs a man, resistance becomes a tool for expansion, pressure becomes a catalyst for depth, and challenges become confirmations of relevance. Manifestation happens when preparation meets timing, and timing is not rushed, it is discerned. Those who arrive early are exposed, those who arrive late are frustrated, but those who arrive on time carry weight, and weight commands attention without demanding it. Destiny does not need promotion, it needs permission, permission that comes from heaven when obedience has been proven, discipline has been tested, and alignment has been sustained. And when that permission is granted, movement becomes inevitable, impact becomes measurable, and influence becomes effective, because what is released is no longer just potential, it is authority in motion, purpose expressed, and assignment unfolding in real time.